This tutorial is brought to you by qtpinterviewquestions.blogspot.in. Thanks. Okay, in this tutorial, what I'm going to tell you is about a quick test professional GUI. So we start from file menu. Here you will get new. You are going to open the new tests, new function library, and business component and scripted component and application area. These three are for business process testing. Then you can open test or function library from here, and this is for quality center connection. You can directly give the quality center's URL and then user and password and then connect to the quality center, and then you can save your tests in the quality center. And this option lets you export the test to zip file, and this lets you import test from zip file. This is very important settings. These settings are like for every test there will be some specific settings that you can make. For example, here you can see associated add-ins for this test, and then in run you have options to give the data table iterations, like run on iteration only, run on all rows, and run from row 1 to run hundreds. If an error occurs during run session, you can set this to proceed to next step. This option is generally used when you want to execute it in night mode, or if you want to debug the scripts, you can use pop-up message box. Then object synchronization timeout is 20. This is default timeout for all objects on the in the application. You can change it to 40 or whatever limit you want. Then in resources, you can associate different function libraries in your to your tests. So all the functions in this library will be available to this test. And this data table is a default location or other location you can choose. Default location is under test directory, so that is XLS file you can select here. In parameters, this is input parameter and output parameters you can set for the test. This is generally not used in IT industry, so I will not give more details about parameters. Now next is environment. There are two environment variables, built-in and user-defined. Built-in variables are like not they cannot be edited. For example, operating system, localhost name, etc. And user-defined variables are like you can edit or create new variables here. Just give the variable name and then variable value, and then you can export these variables as well. You can also load external variables from this option, and those variables that are loaded from the external XML file are not editable. So in user defined there are two variables, internal and external. Internal variables are not read only, so you can edit them, but external variables cannot be edited. Then for web application there are specific settings like browser navigation timeout, that is 60 seconds. Then recovery, you can add recovery scenarios to your tests from here. Select recovery scenario file, and then from this, in this recovery scenario file there are 4 scenarios, so you can choose any of them. So before you select it from here, you need to define some recovery scenarios for your test, and then only you can be able to select a QRS file from here and then select the scenario from here. So just click here, add scenario, and this scenario will be added to this, and then you can activate your scenario on error, on every step, or never. So generally the option is on error or on every step, so this will make your script very slow. And then you can set this apply, click on apply. I'll cancel that. Now this is about settings, view. Then there are active screens, data table, debug viewer, information, missing resources. These are different screens in QTP. Active screen shows the application under test. Data table is used to store the test data, and debug viewer where you can see the runtime variables or debug your scripts. Information is like general information of the script, and the missing resources will show you the missing object repositories or missing associated function libraries. There are two views in QTP: keyword view and expert view. Keyword view is like you can see the exact how a QTP will exact item, operation, and value for this all statements. So for those who are not programming expert can see this what the QTP is actually doing in the keyword view. In expert view, you will give the you will get to see the exact coding. lines. This is about view, and then there are checkpoints. Checkpoint is nothing but verification point where we are verifying that the particular value is actually matching the expected value. Output value is some values where the we are going to store the runtime data from the application. Start transaction and end transactions are used for calculating the time the particular functionality of the application is taking to run. And these are the we can create new actions from here. Automation, here there are record and run settings, and from here we can see the results. Here you can record particular test. Then resources, there are object repository manager, associate repositories. Now object repository is the heart of the QTP. Here all objects are stored in our QTP, their description, properties and their values. So object repository manager used to edit or merge the TSR files. TSR is nothing but shared object repository files. Now shared object repository files can be created using object. If you go to object repository, now this will open the local object repository. If you select export local objects, it will create the .tsr file. Here you can see the extension. So this will create the shared object repository. Shared object repository is independent. You can attach it to any test. Then there is a recovery scenario manager here. Here you can add new recovery scenario for your test. So if you click here, it will give you the recovery scenario wizard. You go here, then select the trigger event type, then give the descriptions, then select what you want to do after a particular event happens. For example, function call, or say close application process. And then finish. Here you have to give the recovery scenario name, add scenario to current test or not, and then finish it. So you can add this scenario to your test. And debugging is possible. Just put the breakpoint like this. So this is a breakpoint. So QTP will stop execution at that point. It will pause there, and then you can proceed from there using these buttons F10, F11, Shift F11 or Control F10. And then you can add a watch using Control T. Insert remove breakpoints using F9 and Control F9. You can disable that. There are different tools like object spy. Object spy is used to learn the object properties and their values. So this is very important tool. So you just click here and then click on any object. So it will select that window. Okay, this object is window, this class name is window, and this is enabled is equal to these are properties and their descriptions values. So I think these are shortcuts for test settings, object repository. This is quality center correction. This is active screen, this is data table, this is debug viewer, this is information, this is missing resources, this is options, this is check syntax, this is object spy, then this is results, this is for function definitions, and then this is for adding checkpoints, this is actions to calls, creating actions, start transaction, end transaction, and then this is for commenting and uncommenting. I think I have covered all the important aspects of the QTP Professional, and from here you can go to different slides that are prepared by me that describe in detail what QTP is and how to design the keyword driven automation, so how to do the scripting in QTP. Thank you.